Hello friends, Om Namah Shivaya. Welcome to Dots of Destiny. This is for the Cancer Ascendant's yearly 2026 yearly predictions. So, Cancer Ascendants, let's first talk about the major planetary transits, and then I'll come to the monthwise synopsis of how the year goes around. Now, first thing is that the most positive planet Jupiter is having three, because it is running so fast, not in its usual speed, it is covering three of your houses. So in the beginning of the year, in the January month, you will find Jupiter retrograde in your 12th house, and this will continue. Retrogression will continue till 11th of March, and then Jupiter will go direct in the 12th house till May end. June 1st, Jupiter enters into your Lagna, and then it stays there from up to 31st of October, 5 months, June, July, August, September, October. Then it moves to Leo, your second house, and conjoins with Ketu over there, November, December. So this Jupiterian transit will bring different nuances in these areas. Being your ninth lord, it will try to give you the consciousness to the area where it is transiting. Now see, what I have felt about the direct and retrograde motion of planets is that during the direct motion, the planet is running in its usual speed, and it is giving you the time to understand and perform the kind of work regarding the houses or the kind of consciousness you are having in your horoscope. Now, once that is your karma, you are doing that. Now, once the planet is retrograde, it sometimes makes you do that thing, whatever you have done again, or it sometimes gives very sudden results also, good or bad, depending on how you have done your work when the planet was in the direct motion. So retrograde can be interpreted in this way. So this Jupiter retrogression in the 12th house can bring different matters related to your expenses, your understanding, because Jupiter is the guru. It is about not only understanding your 6th and the 9th house, it can be a lot of consciousness raising kind of a transit in the 12th house, which is the original position of Jupiter in the Kalpurush Kundli, the house of Pisces. So this transit of Jupiter cannot be taken lightly. Yeah, 12th house is expenses, is hospitalization, these things can happen. Foreign land developments also can happen. You may feel like taking a decision of coming back or going to foreign lands depending on your dasha. You may need a therapy, that can also be there. Some medical treatment, maybe going to different, because it is a 9th lord in the 12th, going for education and completing it and coming back and joining a job. The 6th lord is also Jupiter. Lot of things can happen in this retrogression time until Jupiter reaches your Lagna in the 1st of June. Now from 1st of June to 31st of October, these 5 months, Jupiter, I cannot directly say it is a great transit happening on your Lagna. Yes, it is great because it will give you clarity regarding yourself. That is the first thing. If there is a chance of getting a job, switching places, going to different place, taking a decision, this will be favored at this point of time, and most probably your decision will be good and correct and guided by somebody. That can very well happen. Sudden guidance comes when Jupiter is on the Lagna. But yes, being the 6th lord, it is competition also. You may, whichever field you are in, you will get a tough competition from your competitors. They are no less than you. That is also shown by this transit. Obviously, your father, your mentor can act as a great guide at this moment of time for the Cancer ascendants. Maybe a decision that had been pending when Jupiter was in the 12th house and you knew that this is not the right time. You were waiting for the Jupiter, to the consciousness raising planet, to come on the Lagna. That can also happen during these 5 months. Then Jupiter moves to your second house, and in the second house, obviously, it is a good monetary transit, Jupiter in Leo. But this is not the full-fledged Jupiter in Leo. It will stay in November, December. Again, January month, it will come back on your Lagna with Ketu, accompanying Ketu. So, Cancer is, because it is your Lagna, but wherever Cancer is situated in the horoscope, it is having flavors of both Jupiter and Saturn, because Saturn is also in trines. Now let us talk about Saturn in your 9th house. Now Saturn, from the beginning of the year, I think 11th January or something, I'll put it up on your screen. It will be in Uttarashada and Uttar Bhadrapada, very sorry. So Uttar Bhadrapada, Saturn's own nakshatra in Pisces, it's a very karmic nakshatra. Now what is meaning? It is not as fierce as Purva Bhadrapada, that I've seen very many times. Uttar Bhadrapada regenerates a karma, whatever, if you are specially running any Saturn Dasha, Pratyantar, Antar, even Mahadasham, you will be doing some things which have been pending for maybe 30 years or more, maybe from the past lifetime also. Uttar Bhadrapada Nakshatra brings karmic patterns so that it has to be completed. And Pisces is always a completion. Any planet coming into Pisces, if you had remembered the Jupiter transit in Pisces, I think 2022 it happened, you will realize there were certain karmic patterns you have completed. Now obviously Jupiter being in its own sign, the 9th house, is very different and very blessing, many blessings, and Saturn is different, but here Saturn is paving you the path, because Saturn slowly now the path that needs to be cleared by Saturn with the karma that it wants to fulfill in your horoscope is that it wants to go into it is preparing for its visit into the 10th house. No, this year it is not visiting your 10th house. Surely next year it will do. This year it will go into Revati also. So definitely Uttar Bhadrapada and Revati are two excellent nakshatras. I have to say that. And very many times I have seen these work in brilliant ways. But being a Cancer ascendant, one thing you have to understand, Saturn is preparing, whenever Saturn transits a watery sign, if it is on your Lagna, if it is in Scorpio, or if it is in Pisces, in the original natal chart, it wants you to be emotionally very sorted. And that's a very, very difficult job to do. There can be some repeated patterns with your mentors, with your father, with your higher education, with the going to foreign lands. That Saturn, this direct Saturn will again bring up. As we are reaching, that Saturn is becoming direct. Immediately from December, you will see 2025, these patterns will start. And whole of 2026, because again, see, Saturn, we do not want a planet like Saturn Rahu in the 9th house. Mars, at least I don't want. I do not want Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Rahu in the 9th house. Mercury is still tolerable with Sun. Alone Mercury is another problem. So keeping the faith and going ahead with these crude grahas in the 9th house is very difficult. Ketu is different. It is the original house of Sagittarius. When we have Rahu, Saturn, these planets in Sagittarius, especially these two, Rahu, Saturn, it is said it is highly affliction of Sagittarius in the 9th house. So big karmic patterns. Now whenever why I am talking all this, Cancer ascendants are constantly telling that because we have come out of Dhaiya, Cancer moon, those who are running Dhaiya, came out of Dhaiya this year. Where is how we are getting the benefits? Benefits Saturn cannot give so easily, right? That is another point. Ninth house Saturn, not a great placement. Yes, aspected by Jupiter. See, your work will become much easier. I'll tell you in the monthly horoscope also. The pattern becomes much easier when Jupiter is on the Lagna aspecting its own ninth house and Saturn is sitting there. Because Saturn is darkness. What you need to do, you do not get the lesson. You once do the job, you have to rectify it. That is Saturn, harsh way. Jupiter guides you. So June onwards, that guidance is very good. And because Saturn is also sitting in the sign of Jupiter and Jupiter is aspecting it, so this guidance is very naturally, it will come to you and you will be able to execute it like that. So, and obviously this is the Saturn is your 7th and 8th lord. So these kind of conditions, marriage can also happen because Saturn is transiting from the 7th, 3rd from itself. So initiation of marriage, Jupiter also coming on the Lagna and aspecting the 7th house and the 7th lord can very much pave the way for relationships and marriage, because Jupiter is also aspecting your 5th house also. So these things the Saturn will promote. But one thing is that this 9th house Saturn is testing your belief system. That is what I've seen. Those who have natal Saturn in the 9th house, it tests and tests you again and again and again, because it is not an easy placement. I have seen a lot of difficulties with the father also. The father's life also turns very harsh if there is natal Saturn in the 9th house. This can happen at this point of time also. But this combination, whatever you are having, will pave way for foreign cultures if you are really looking forward to it. As Rahu, now my next planet, is also in your 8th house. Okay, so Saturn in the Pisces in the 9th and Rahu in the 8th and in its own house. Rahu in the 8th takes you towards foreign lands, give you gains from foreign lands. If you're a business person, you can earn good profits from foreign lands. And Rahu is good in the 8th house with these things. I'll tell you the first, let me see how Rahu is now acting. Is that Rahu is going into Shatabhisha Nakshatra, its own. Until August, Rahu will be there, then it goes to Dhanishta. Rahu will perform very highly effective now, very highly. Again, Purva Bhadrapada till now, it is not the genre of Rahu. Purva Bhadrapada is a one-legged tapasvi. It's a two-faced nakshatra, and Purva Bhadrapada has all troubles to give. Not denying that Shatabhisha is also troublesome. It shows instability. After all, it is the dimension of Rahu which is not like Swati. Shatabhisha and Adra, as you know, Rahu Nakshatra is a teardrop. Shatabhisha brings out the loneliness within. Shatabhisha, a circle, which is the, aligning outside with the inside. Otherwise, you feel very lonely inside. That may happen with some Cancer ascendants or moon sign at this point of time. Or they may feel hollow from within. That can very much happen. But Jupiter is there to guide you with this Rahu in the 8th house. And because Rahu from the 8th will slowly move by December to your 7th house, I think this transit is again your partner related. If you are already married, your partner will have a very strong presence in this 3D world, because Rahu is all 3D as Rahu moves towards Dhanishta after Shatabhisha to Dhanishta from August onwards and then to Capricorn. So, and also it's a marriage kind of a combination. Definitely Rahu works in the 7th house very well for giving a marriage, because Rahu is desire. It gives you, it serves you. Yeah, you want to get married? Yes, you can. If the Dasha is running, you will get married. There is nothing much denial in that, because Ketu is coming on the Lagna. Because now Ketu is in Purva Falguni, then it will come to Magha Nakshatra in your 2nd house, and Magha is a fierce nakshatra, Ketu's nakshatra. So 2026 Cancer ascendants, my suggestion to you, I do suggest, I cannot advise. It is each individual's way of looking into the world, because I know Cancer people, how they react, they're purely emotional. That too much of emotional quotient needs to be corrected this time only. Otherwise, now Ketu is coming very close towards your Lagna, towards the end of 2026. Saturn in Uttara Bhadrapada, own nakshatra, Rahu in Shatabisha, own nakshatra, Ketu in Magha, own nakshatra, only one benefic planet, Jupiter, on the Lagna. You tell me 3 planets are gearing up to cut all the emotional ties possible. And can one Jupiter fight with 3 demons like Rahu, Ketu and Saturn, in the sense they are also, obviously they are planets and they are Shani Dev, Rahu Dev, Ketu, but they are demonic in some sense. That's why we have a Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic gun. Mars is Tamasic, right? Rajasic, Tamasic and Sattvic. Jupiter is Sattvic. It cannot fight. That's not possible for Jupiter. Jupiter gives Gyan. If a person has Jupiter on the Cancer Lagna, they will fight with their knowledge. They cannot fight with their fist and, with their body. They cannot do that. That has to be understood. A malefic is a malefic. However, it does become functional, benefic and all, but still its ways are very different than the benefic. So that's why trimming up your emotional quotient is the first and foremost thing for Cancer ascendants. For every ascendant I'm telling this. For you, it is 100%. 2026 is the year of the Sun. It's not easy. It will not be easy. 2025, if it was going bitter, bitterness will increase. We cannot deny that. So better not to live in oblivion about that. But obviously every person goes through own dasha, and that is how they are affected. Every person will not have the same effect due to the dasha sequence. That is very true. Now let me go into the month-wise analysis that I have made, and like how each month pans out for you. Month of January, Cancer ascendants. Now let me put it in this way. As I'm seeing the yearly horoscope, January, February, March, April, and especially January, February, March, the beginning has a flavor which is a little bit challenging. April, May will be different. There will be some beginnings. June, July is good, and August is also good. Rest of the months are much more better than the first 3 months. Now see, you can see it on your screen. January I have put an average because all the planets in the beginning of the year is starting with being in Sagittarius. Now Sagittarius is a 6th house and Jupiter is aspecting all these planets. So it is about competition, health, loan taking, your official environment, how you deal with it, all these things, because every planet is in Sagittarius. Now this is also, see how the planets are behaving. It is Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Moon. Every planet other than the big 4 planets, they are all in Sagittarius in the beginning of the year. Now that can be a very dynamic and overwhelming work related time for you, but it always deals also with your health, with your competitive spirit, with, if you want to see, as I told you, many people are going to foreign lands, Cancer people, if they want to take a loan, all these things are dealt with in the first month of the year. So it's a busy month and you have to keep your focus going. Now coming to February, I have written caution because Sun and Mars is in the 7th house. Whole month of February, actually from the mid of January only this will start. Sun and Mars we don't want in the 7th house, right, together. We do not want that because both are very Ugra planet. I put it in that way. Mars exalted, but again, exaltation of a Marankarak planet in the 7th house is not too much required. That is the thing. And it It gives rough patches to the relationship area because Venus, Rahu, Mercury is also in the 8th house. Now, when Rahu is with Venus and Mercury, it becomes very more confident. There can be sudden events, losses, all this. Please do not go for starting a relationship, a marriage related thing, investment related things, sudden changes. If you can hold it for a little longer, then it will be better, because this time of the year, in the month of February, Mars will be in the 7th and then it goes into the 8th slowly. So your health is a big if you are running that kind of a dasha, any accident prone thing, or you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful with Mars and Rahu. This, because I'm a Leo ascendant, the same thing happened 2024. I remember when Rahu was in my 8th house. So that's why. Now March comes. March, again there is a caution, as I told you. There is Mars and Rahu combination in your 8th house, Saturn, Venus in the 9th house. So Saturn, Venus, Venus is your, obviously it is your 4th lord. Now if you were looking, now when Rahu comes with Mars in the 8th, property related, because Jupiter is aspecting this, sudden property related things can come to the forefront. Now understand, your 4th lord is with Saturn. It can have some speed breakers in its way. So there can be problems at home also. There can be some tense situation going on during this first 3 months, which is building up. So you have to be very careful during, and you have to cool down yourself. Again, emotionally do not get turbulent in the first 3 months of the year. Now comes April. April month, you have Sun, Venus in the 10th house, Mars and Saturn in the 9th house. Now here there will be some endings, definitely. When Mars meets Saturn, 5th and the 10th lord with Saturn, there will be some endings, and because Mars is now preparing to go towards the 10th house, its best placement, it wants some new beginnings in the month of May. So April, May, you can combine it together. There will be some endings that needs to happen. It can be any area of your life. Obviously, it can be 5th house related matters, your progeny, your love affair, your things, your name, fame, your boss, not dealing with, not understanding your perspective, all these things. And 10th lord also, change of job, going to foreign lands, and all these can be favored, because there has to be an ending to come for a new beginning for Mars when it reaches Aries, your 10th house. 10th house Mars is brilliant. There can be nothing a better place than Mars in the 10th house in its own sign, Digbala. You get all the strength in the month of May. And Sun, Venus also in the 11th house, Venus in own house. So and the second lord combination with the 11th house. May should be a very good month for you, very good. June, Jupiter plus Venus is on the Lagna, Mars in the 11th, again a good month. So you know what happens when we have the good months, we should be able to go with the whatever plans. This is, astrology should be used in this way. Every month, if just to know where the planets are. And I haven't spoken about Mercury too much, because see, Mercury, until and unless you are running a Pratyantar Dasha or Antar Dasha, for Cancer ascendants, it is not very easy. The 3rd lord and the 12th lord. So it's not very easy. It requires a very detailed thing, because Mercury in meantime goes retrograde. The retrogression of Mercury does not tell about a very big story. It is not small planet, small story. Things you forget, you do it in Mercury. It is, yes, sometimes if it's a documentation which goes missing or something like that, that can be critical. That can be critical. So otherwise, that's why because it's not your best planet, I haven't included so much. But definitely Mercury has its effect, especially you're running up Antar Pratyantar Dasha of Mercury. Now come in month of June is, as it is Mars in the 11th and on the Lagna Jupiter Venus, it will be a good month. July is good for finances because Mars is still in the 11th, Venus plus Ketu in the 2nd house. Now when your 10th lord is going into a planet like Mars in the 11th house also does very good. Mars is aspecting your second house, and 11th lord is conjunct with Ketu in the second house in Leo. Over here, some expenses can also occur. Though July month, one thing you have 12th house, your Jupiter is already in the Lagna now. Now, if you have to go for the expenses, you must know that what kind of expenses you are doing, and you must judge accordingly. And then, because Venus in the second house definitely gives money, but Ketu being here, again the money outlet is also in the same pattern, because Mars is also aspecting here, so it's vibrating with lot of energy at this point of time, July. Sun and Jupiter will be on the Lagna in the month of July. Be very, very careful at this time. Why? July is good for finances, but because Sun is combusting this Jupiter on the Lagna. So you have to understand and judge a way out how to deal with your family members, with your finance, with your 10th house matters, with your networking groups, 11th lord with Ketu, networking groups, what you're getting from there, what you want to cut short, all these things. Now comes the month of August. August also, Sun is in Cancer, and then it goes to the second house, and Mars is in the 12th house. Now, Mars over here in the 12th house aspects your third house. And Sun also, for the time being, it is on the Lagna, then moves into the second house. It gives you some confidence, definitely. Second lord in the second house. So August, other than if expenses are really mounting up, or there can be a job change, so that is why that job change can a little bit put a problem, or some transfers at this point of time may happen. It may happen. So August is a confident month, but do not go too much confidence, because Mars goes into the 12th house. That is the thing. Then comes September. September month onward, September, October, you have the major Mars and Jupiter on the Lagna. Mars is debilitated, getting a Nij Bhanga, and Venus will be in Libra. So here, obviously, some kind of home related matters during the month of October, September, October. These 2 months you can take it having the same pattern, because Venus will be Libra in the 4th house, then Sun Mercury will also join there in the month of October, and Mars will be on the Lagna, Jupiter creating a Nij Bhanga with Mars, Mars aspecting Libra, the 4th house. Some home related things which may have been pending for long, which till now would have looked like a little bit difficult or not happening the way you want to, maybe property purchase also, maybe any events at your home, maybe a change of place, maybe anything that will first take a little bit of hassle from your end. Later it will become better, because that is how Nij and then Bhanga happens on the Lagna. But this arrangement is good in the month of September, October. Nonetheless, it will show a dawning of better days in this way. First an hassle, and then you come across it in a better way. Now November, December, Jupiter, Mars, Ketu, especially in November, comes into your second house. Here, major changes in the second house. The only thing is that from the 9th house, it is the 8th house. So Jupiter, whenever it comes into Leo, from Sagittarius position is very good, and from Pisces not very good. So Pisces related matters can have to be rethought. 6th house matters, Artha Trikona sign, right? It is the second house. Ketu and Jupiter and Mars all in the second house. It is a great time for some upliftment in your financial factors. Very good actually. In December month also, Ketu will now come on the Lagna, and Rahu in the 7th, and Mars, Jupiter will still be in your second house. This time we are seeing a big transit of Venus going retrograde from September to December. Venus will become very slow, your 4th lord and your 11th lord. in the sign of Libra. It will go back to Virgo in the month of November, October, November, like that, means again come back to Libra in the month of December. Year end, it will be in your 4th house. So what is happening is that these planets, you see, if you see the way it is panning out for you, as I said, you can see that is starting from the 6th house. Challenges, 7th house, 8th house, 9th house, beginning, ending, then coming into your 10th, 11th, which is very good. 12th Mars, it's a little bit of caution in the month of August. Then again September, October, Mars comes on the Lagna. Your changes official 9th and 10th Lord on the Lagna. You know, this is a great transit actually, and I feel that some sure shot things will come out in your favor this year. And because there are so many Cancer ascendants asking for that for a very long time, and there are certain ascendants who are literally in Libra is also one of them. Saturn now transiting the 6th. Sagittarius also problem is going on. Cancer is also in the hit list of that. And leave about Leo, it is having different kind of problems with Ashtam Shani. So I really feel that this year there will be certain major changes, and it can be a bit sudden also. Rahu gives that suddenness in the 8th house. But these will come in your favor. That is more important. Whether whatever is happening is favoring you at the end of the year, at the end of the day. So this was my analysis for 2026 Cancer ascendants, moon sign, Lagna, rising. You can watch it from anywhere. With Lagna, things will happen rightly in front of your eyes. With the moon, your mind goes in that way. So please watch my video, share, like, and whatever. And please take care of yourself. Hope you have a good and fruitful and growth oriented year in 2026. Until next video, take good care. Bye bye.